Today we are today we are going to create the pivot tables by using the data. First of all, we see that so there is an example of the questions. First of all, we have to analyze the data and we have to create the pivot tables and charts. So here, for example, we have created two groups. Group A, for example, it was supposed to do the data sets with the age of 20 to 50, and the another data sets was using the age from 51 to 80. So we have the one data sets and we have to use the body data containing this one all type of information. Then we have to create these type of charts. First of all, we can see that so we can import our data. For example, here we can import our data from text, csv, web, whatever you have. For example, get data. So here, this one, according to the questions, we are supposed to use the body data, right? That is the text file, and now we are going to import that data. So here it shows that all the data from the text file, and we will load that data. So we have all type of data. So this one here, this is also in the table. Here we can see that if we want to filter it or sorting according to the age, smallest to largest, right? So here we can see that we have the number of individuals having the age from 18 to the maximum is 80, right? In this one, here it mentioned that one group can create like the data analysis from 20 to 50, the another one can have the data from 51 to 80. So it's up to you, like if you want to use all the data, like it is just like for this one. Okay, for example, if we want to use the previous first group, we are not going to select all the data. We can select on from having the age from 20 to 50. So we have this data, right? So first of all, we have seen that we have the data from 18 to 20. So either it is like simple if we want to select only from 20 to 50. So here some of the values having from 18 to 90. So from this one we can hide this one, right? So now we have the data from 20 to 80, right? So we will select only the values having the age maximum is 50. And now, so this is the data, all the data. Now we have the data from age 20 to 50, right? So if you are analyzing the whole data, you can select all here. So first of all, we can convert into the table. Okay, so for example, if you want to analyze, you want to sorting, you want to like anything, you want to hide something, so it's better first of all you can convert into a table. And then we want to convert into a pivot tables. So here if you don't create the table before, so here you have to mention the range. Now we have already created the table 2, so here no need to select the data sets. So here table 2, new worksheet. Okay, either you can select the existing worksheet, and here we have created the pivot tables, but the question is what we want to show and what we want to hide from this one. So here we have imported the data, we have selected the data from with the age from 20 to 50, and then having all the data, age, height, blood cells, white blood cells with this one. Now we have to create the pivot tables and chart that summarizes the average weight for each age group. So you can create the age group from, for example, 20 to 30, 31 to 40, and 40 to 50. So here we can show this one. The another was we have to see the average weight. And here, so we can see all data values. So whatever you want to show, either you want to hide. So here we have selected only sum of age and the weight. Here you see some of the columns, filter, rows. Here we want to see the values, right? So here it will be represented as a rows and sum of weight. but here we show that here we want to modify the sum count average. Here we see we just want to see the average weight according to the age group. So some of them having in fraction 76.94, 87.36. So it's better you can format and you can round up to zero, right? It's better. Okay, now we have like age group for 20, 21, 23. Now first of all we can create one age group, right? So here you can see either we can sort them, either we can hide them. So it is also possible that you can hide some of the groups. For example, we just want to show the data average weight of first age group, right? So here this one, and then you can either you can create the chart for this one. So this data will show only the one age group. Okay, then you can write here any age group like young, right? Same you can create for another one. You can create the separate pivot charts for them. If you don't want to, if you want to create a one group in one table, okay, so we can show them all. Now we can select the first group should be a from 20 to 30, right? So we have selected these values, then we can right click and then we can group. So we have created one group. So we can rename them young age, right? So now we have another groups. Now we want to create the another group from 31 to 40. Select the values, then group, and now we have group 2, that is like we can say middle aged. Okay, any name you want to say. Okay, the third one, now we want to create the third group from 41 to 50 group, and rename the group 3, that will be okay, it's spelled old group, right? So now we have three different groups, right? So if we want to see, so all the values for each age 20, 77, 21, having 87, 22, the values they have the average weight. So here if you will see, so we have created, before it was having age only, right? So now we have created one more group, that is like age 2. That means we have created the groups, that one. If you don't want to see the previous, you can hide this one. Now we have only the one we have created the groups. So though then we can see, okay, now we can see that what was that. So we have to create the pivot table and charts that summarizes the average weight for each group, right? So now we have the average weight of each group, for young group, for middle age group, for old group, the average weight. So here you can see that who having like more average weight, middle age one. From here you can analyze that which age group has a more average weight. If you want to customize this type of graph for better understanding, for better, so here you can modify them. For example, like this one, and then if you want to x-axis, you want to change like x-axis, what is x-axis and what is the y-axis, from here you can modify. And then chart title, average weight, okay, x-axis, here we have mentioned age group, and here weight, right? So here you can create the pivot tables and charts. If you want to change the colors, So this one, you want to change the color, you want to change the layout. Okay, from here you can customize these different type of graph. Okay, so next what we can see, include LDL and HDL levels in the pivot tables and display their average values for each age group. Now we have to show the LDL, low density lipoprotein and high density lipoproteins, and we have to create a scatter plots, right? Same, you can copy this one, the same graph. Okay, for example, we can delete this one and then no need to try. Okay, when you click on this one, this one, what we have to show, now we have to show LDL and HDL level, right? So here the weight, so you can hide the weight, right? Here you see sum of HDL and sum of LDL level. So from here you can change the field setting if you want to see the maximum, minimum, product, average, count. Here same you can change for the LDL level. Okay, now we have, according to the age group, average HDL level and average LDL level, right? So here you can see the young people, they have average of HDL level and the average of LDL level. From here you can, if you want to label this one, so it will be very easy to make a decision. So which age group having the more than STL level? So here middle age, they have the more STL levels, right? But here you see we have to create a scatter chop plot, right? So for example, here we, if we ask that this is the scatter plots, so it will show the error because it says that they cannot create the chart type with the data inside the pivot tables. So okay, so what we can do, we can copy these one values. So this is not a pivot table, right? Here we can mention age groups, average HDL level, average this one, right? So then we can show the scatter plots, right? And then scatter plots from, we can show the data labels. Here we can also see which age group instead of the bar charts. Now we have created the scatter chart for the average of this one, and now we can see that the middle age, they have the more LDL level, right? So it is clear, if you want to modify what you want to display, you can delete. Okay, so next we can see that based on the pivot tables, identify which age group has the highest LDL level. So we have seen that the second age group having the age from 31 to 40, they have the more highest LDL level. So create a scatter plot to analyze the relationship between a systolic blood pressure. Same like you can, first of all, you can show the systolic blood pressure and weight. Okay, so here what we have to, systolic blood pressure and weight, right? Systolic, and here we can change the setting to average of weight and average for this one. So here we have to create the relation between a systolic blood pressure and weight, and then so here we can see that the blood pressure, systolic and weight, same, this plot is already created. If you want to show as a scatter plots, so then you can construct them like this one, and then you can show the data labels, right? This is the scatter plots for the average of weight and average of systolic blood pressure. Okay, and then from the data sets, focus on the distribution of red blood cells and white blood cells and create a pie chart that displays the proportion of red blood cells and white blood cells. Okay, so now we are going to create the pie table, pie chart, blood white and blood cells. Okay, and here we can hide weight, and we can this one red blood cells and white blood cells, right? For example, first we can show them the pie charts according to the age group. So here it's better to show as a count, the count of red blood cells and white blood cells, right? This is count of white blood cells, same you can represent as a red blood cells. Now this is the red blood cells, right? So here you just have to select, it will automatically display in the results, right? And then so line graph to track the trend of systolic blood pressure according to the different age groups. So we have to create the systolic blood pressure. Now we can hide this one, we can show this one, right? Age and systolic, the average of systolic blood pressures, and then we have to as a line graph, right? So here you can show as a line graph, this is the line graph. Okay, so the next, create a bar chart of average BMI data with the top 10 age group, right? So age group according to the, we can show the BMI, right? And here we can, age group we already created, now we have to select the BMI. Okay, so the BMI, average BMI, we can select the average BMI. So here we can see that the young, they have average BMI 27, and the middle age they have the 30, and the old they also have the 30 BMI index. So you want to change anything like from graphs, column. Okay, so if you want to, you can display like this one. Okay, you want to change the colors, so you can change from here. You want to change the layout, you can change the style. Okay, you can change from here. And one thing more, like if you want to, so here there is a slicer, right? For example, sometimes we have groups, for example age groups, right? So here we have created one just like a buttons, right? So if we don't want to see the R results, so for example only 20, the results only 20 age will be grouped, 21 according to this one, right? So if you want to show anything specifically, so you can create the slicer for that one, right? This is just like a buttons. If for example again here we have created the age 2. Okay, so this one we don't want to see the results of R, we just click on the old, we can see the middle age for this one. Same, if you want to, if you have already created like charts and you want to see according to the different weight, according to the different age, according to this one, you can insert the slicer, and then whatever you want you just click, no need to filter, customize anything. So you just have to click, if you want to see all, so you will have to select this one. This was like how you can create the pivot tables. Main thing is that you can create the groups, you can select, you can create the pivot tables, then you can select. So here when you are going to, here first of all you have to, whatever you want to show you can select this one, whatever you don't want to see you can hide from this one, right? So here if you want to see like here, so here the values should be like here, then you can manually modify the settings whatever you want, like maximum count, average or something, either the rows or columns, that is like